While the housing market is heading south in Sydney and Melbourne, office real estate is enjoying a boom. Office space is hard to come by with low vacancy rates and rents up 80% in 4 years. But in a mirror of the economy, the smaller capitals are struggling with soaring vacancy rates. Here's Rachel Pupazzoni.
Engineering firm Arup first made its name in Australia when its founder, Sir Ove Arup, oversaw the engineering design on the construction of the Sydney Opera House.
We have worked with Pupazzoni now for 8 or 9 years on this job.
As the iconic building celebrated its 45th birthday this year, his company faced a new design challenge: where to house its increasingly agile and growing workforce of nearly 800 staff in a city with very little office space. It started looking for a new home in 2012. In the end, it signed a lease for another building it was undertaking the engineering work for.
One of the things we liked about this proposition was that it was a building that we could design.
Barrack Place is the only premium office building that's come onto the market in Sydney this year. Arup moved in last month.
People have actually been really explaining how they've really felt that sense of connectedness.
But since it brokered its lease back in 2013, Sydney's economy has been booming, and that's significantly tightened the office space market.
It's really become much more constrained. There's less new buildings coming onto the market, and also we've seen stock coming off the market, in particular for the construction of the metro.
Which means companies looking for a new home now have severely limited options.
Sydney's not going to see that much supply, and we don't expect the market to grow until 2021.
As at July this year, the last time figures were released, Sydney's office vacancy rate was 4.6%. Real estate firm CBRE predicts that will soon fall to the low threes. While some new office buildings will come onto the market in Sydney's CBD in the next couple of years, others are being withdrawn from the market, either being converted into residential buildings or being knocked down entirely for transport infrastructure needs. That has pushed rents sky high.
In the Sydney CBD, real and nominal rents are now at record highs. We've never seen it this high ever before. Since 2014, Sydney CBD effective rents have grown 80%, and in secondary stock, it's over 100%.
It's a similar picture in Melbourne, where the office vacancy rate is the lowest in the country at 3.6%.
There's been very strong population growth in Victoria over the past few years. That's driving the economy and likewise driving demand for office space.
The amount of office space in Melbourne's CBD is expected to increase by about 10% by 2020. But a recent report by Urbis reveals if supply isn't dramatically increased in the next 20 years, it could cost the state economy $7 billion in lost jobs, because there won't be enough space to house workers. While a tight office market isn't great if you're a company looking for more space, it is a solid indication of a strong economy.
Thanks, Cara.
Thank you.
Those markets have been underpinned by strong demand. So that's new businesses coming into those centres and businesses who are in those centres growing.
It's a different picture in Western Australia and Queensland, where economic conditions aren't as positive.
Well, we've got the mining sector overhang, and that impacted those office markets quite considerably. There are high vacancies in those markets.
With a national CBD office space vacancy rate of about 9%, Perth is significantly underperforming, with a rate more than double that, as it continues to recover from its mining high. Brisbane is slightly ahead in its recovery from the mining boom, while Adelaide also has much more office space than it can fill. All the while, Melbourne and Sydney's markets continue to tighten. But no matter the city or its market conditions, one common trend is emerging.
We're seeing businesses, building owners invest in place, invest in the things that make their places, their buildings and properties great places to be at.
Which means expect the next phase of office buildings, when they do come online, to be fitted out with extras like art installations, superior end-of-trip amenities and yoga studios.